Okay. Good morning, welcome to your Monday edition of your favorite program on television, Inside Nigeria. Today is Monday, the first official day of the week, and of course it's November 13, 2023. My name is Winifred Webo, welcoming you to this program on this Monday morning. And we have our newspapers on our menu for review this morning. We have Nigeria's most influential newspaper, Leadership, The Guardian, Daily Sun, THISDAY, The Punch, and Vanguard. And of course, as expected, they are carrying headline stories on yesterday's second election that took place in Kogi, Imo, and Bayelsa. Though Kogi and Imo are already decided, but as we speak, the polls, Ododo wins Kogi, Hope returns, and Imo. Governorship polls, Ododo wins Kogi as APC candidate, and of course also the airplane incident closes Abuja runway. Sokoto, Kebbi, Zamfara, no in immunization, says UNICEF. And above that, we have that is on the business buzz. NNPC restores oil production of 275,000 barrels per day at Total Energies. We move to page 3 of the paper where we have our stand. Our stand is on review judges remuneration. Review judges remuneration. With that, we move to the back page of the paper where we have Monday column with Dakuku Peter side. Dakuku Peter side is writing on behalf of integrity in public life. Find out more as you log on to the website. Meanwhile, just before we go, let's take a look at Ghana Must Go. Ghana Must Go says we'll make our educational institutions globally competitive, according to President Bola Tinubu. And of course, Ghana Must Go replied, like Chicago State University. It's funny. Well, for more on leadership, log on to the website. Continuation of headline stories, www.leadership.ng. From leadership to THISDAY, same headline story. Uzodila Ododo win Imo, Kogi, Daily in Bayelsa. Opposition candidates call for cancellation of elections. Yaga Africa alleges INEC uploaded results of PUs where elections didn't hold. Uriwa exercise viciously rigged, full of violence. Advise losers not to waste money challenging results. The story continues on page 6 of THISDAY. Uzodila Ododo win Imo, Kogi, release in Bayelsa. Opposition candidates call for cancellation of elections. Yaga Africa alleges INEC uploaded results for PUs where elections didn't hold. Uriwa exercise viciously rigged, full of violence. Advises losers not to waste money challenging results. You will see the story on page 6 of THISDAY. Of course, we have the pictures of Uzodila Hope and Kogi State Guba-elect Ododo of Kogi State. We move above that where we had Meiti huge recurrent expenditure affecting states' capacity to develop. The receipts by Rivers Akwa Ibom grew 935.27%, 680.91% in 1 year. Amuka Oshoba Bagbina lead 300 editors to annual conference. Instead of THISDAY, we have business news. Despite sent for Naira and CBN intensified settlement of forest backlogs. KPMG predicts lower GDP growth in second half despite few subsidy forest reforms. KPMG predicts lower GDP growth in second half despite few subsidy forest reforms. These are the headline stories on this day today, Monday, November 13, 2023. For continuation of these headline stories, inside stories, and the back page, and of course the editorial, log on to the website of THISDAY, www.thisdaylive.com. And the Punch is next on our menu. The Punch says PDP Labour Party kick as Uzodinma Ododo win protest in Bayelsa. PDP Labour Party kick as Uzodinma Ododo win protest in Bayelsa. Uzodinma wins all local governments. Opposition rejects Imo Kogi results, say no election took place. During supporters protest as Silva wins Navy with 22,248 votes. APC defends victory in local government. Of course, there are pictures of the candidates underneath the leading story. Intensifies 52 Sokoto Zamfara Kebbi children not vaccinated. UNICEF. NDLEA names wheelchair bound drug dealer ex-convict orders. Conflict merchants behind unending banditry in Northwest Matawale. The movable demand said of the Punch, the Dangote refinery secures license to refine 300,000 barrels per day crude. VC's right federal government reject 40% varsities IGR deduction. Kali pays certain military Amazon takes last salute. And of course, that's the last story on the masthead of the Punch. And of course, we brings us to the end of the Punch newspaper review this Monday as we move on to the next on our menu, and that is Vanguard. Vanguard's leading story of second governorship elections. Uzodinma Ododo win in Imo, Kogi, Bayelsa ready today. We have quite a lot of rider stories underneath. Bayelsa collation continues today. Uzodinma polls 540,308 votes to floor Anyanwu 71,503 votes. Atronium 64,081. PDP wins 5 of 6 local government areas, leads in Bayelsa. Collation of 2 local government areas continues today. Melai calls for cancellation in 3 Kogi local government areas. Imo PDP Labour Party kick call for cancellation of results. Polling hold in some Imo polling units, Yaga, Africa. Female NYC member missing with beavers, result sheet. Uzodinma's re-election well deserved, Sanwo-Olu. Wefuru Kalu, we've learned nothing, Catholic bishops. Protest in Bayelsa over Nombe Kasambiri result, and there is a catalog of the results underneath that leading story of Imo, Bayelsa, Kogi, where election took place yesterday. Underneath that, we have 2024 budget, how to end Nigeria's economic woes, Senate. Wanted killer of Rivers DPO, 2 Babas men storm community, key 5. Alleged admission racketeering, we are ready for Senate probe, JAMB. NNPCL restores production of 275,000 barrels per day. Edo to become first world economy, Obaseki, Ighodalo, Dangote, others. Annual confab, Amuka, Oshoba, Obagbena lead 300 editors to Uyo. Insecurity now business, Matawale. And above that, we have custom raises forest rates for collection of duties from 770 naira per dollar to 788 naira per dollar. Find out more as you log on to the website of Vanguard, www.vanguardngr.com. From Vanguard, Daily Sun is next, and our menu. Daily Sun leads with governorship election. APC wins Imo, Kogi. There is severe no faith day. Uzodinma wins all 27 local government areas. Scores 540,308 votes. PDP Labour Party reject results. PDP leads in Bayelsa. INEC to hold fresh election in 59 Kogi polling units Saturday. JAMB lost Senate's probe of admission racketeering. Story continues on page 29 of Daily Sun. Identify arrest sponsors of electoral offences in Bayelsa, Kogi, Imo. Serap tells INEC. Appeal calls affirmation of Kalu's election good for Senate country. APC chair. MFA bombards terrorist strongholds in Borno. Case calls destroys gun trucks. Elders. NGE conference, Tinubu, Amuka, Bagbena, 300 editors to storm Uyu. Governor Eno is guest of honor. Story continues on page 27 of Daily Sun. And on the rates that we have news on the street, Curtis key 5 in Rivers, give conditions for ceasefire. And last and not the least of the cover of Daily Sun today is panic grips CBN staff over planned reorganization. The story continues on page 25 of Daily Sun. For more on Daily Sun inside stories, the editorial back page, you log on to the website of Daily Sun, www.sunnynewsonline.com. From Daily Sun, we move to the last paper on our menu today, which is The Guardian. The Guardian lists with same election results as its headline story. Uzodinma re-elected, Ododo wins Kogi as Diri leads in Bayelsa. Reps to launch National Assembly eyes for effective oversight on NDAs. Falana knocks Israel over collective punishment, crime against humanity. Imoguba poll how not to conduct a credible election. That is on politics page 27 of The Guardian. Tinubu, the challenge of moral leadership. This is the editorial on editorial page 12 of The Guardian today. Find out more what the editorial says. Remember, as I've always told you on the program, the editorial is a collective voice of the paper. It's the opinion of the paper on a daily basis because the editorial is daily. And today's editorial on The Guardian says Tinubu, the challenge of moral leadership. Another top headline story on The Guardian says fuel subsidy forest liberalization may drive inflation to 30% by December. 45-year-old woman flees with daughters over circumcision rights. The story is on Metro page 8. Social media regulation B, guiding free speech or taming monster. This is the news analysis on page 4 of The Guardian. You'll find out more as you log on to the website of The Guardian, www.guardian.ng. And of course, from The Guardian, we come to the end of the first half of the program Inside Nigeria, your breakfast show on leadership television. My name is Winifred Ugbebo, and of course, for the second half of the program, we have our Monday guest coming in. Don't go away, stay tuned. Yes, welcome back. In case you're just joining us, the program is Inside Nigeria, your breakfast show on leadership television. My name is Winifred Ugbebo once again, and of course I have the pleasure of bringing to you my Monday guest. He's a political economist, public affairs analyst, Dr. Aliyu Elias. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to have you.
Thank you for having me.
So how was your weekend?
It was about
Kogi State.
First and foremost, I was supposed to, I like schedule before coverage.
Oh, you were part of that. Good, you are not a people
I was on TVC for 3 hours. After the election.
But you were supposed to be there.
Well, sometimes we look at the two and look at what better. So perhaps I don't have a stake now. It's just to do normal.
You were scared that this is going to
not at all. It's quite appalling that we could have that level of fear in our election, because when I was watching discussing live on some stations, I discovered that even in Kogi, in local we have a polling unit that have 700 people that are supposed to vote. It's only 100 people that went there. And that shows that there is serious apathy on the side of the electorate.
But prior to the election, we saw police soldiers in the operation Show of Force, that were being deployed, to Kogi, Imo states, and even Bayelsa. It's right, those two states. So what happened at the end of the day? You can say that the election, was it actually violence prone?
The fact just means that the policing of our election makes people not to come out to vote. So we must find a way to reduce the level of policing the election, because people on ground even say they've never seen an area so policed to that extent. So most people, perhaps you remember in Kogi, the man was burnt in 2019.
Yes.
So all those scenarios, people don't want to really take the risk. However, when the election has come, it has
so give us your impression about the election. How would you rate the election?
My first impression was that the gap between the winner and people that follow is just why
maybe he has the confidence of his citizen.
But looking at Kogi generally, if you look at Kogi, the Kogi Central itself have more population than even the Kogi East. Kogi East only have land mass. So when it comes to primary election, Kogi East have more people. It will be representation of from different world vote. So that will have affects Kogi Central. But in terms of population, you can say that Kogi Central you have 140 something, and there's no one that is closer. The closer one is Adabi again, which is 101. So and I think the Kogi West now, they support APC and Yabilo more, and they also have their percentage from the Igala side. So looking at it, I know that Ogurimagongo was also said to be compromised, and they said there will be election by next Saturday. However, it is going to be insignificant, because even the collation of the totality of the election cannot make any impact on the number, on the gap that's already there. And so that's that for Kogi. And for Imo, it's quite surprising because LP was on their, with all lot of their outing, their optics shows that maybe they will have a better way out. And I was surprised that even PDP have only 71,000 and LP have 64,000, because the former governor, I was thinking he's one that will come and collect the ticket. So I was surprised that what's his name? Former deputy speaker. So I was thinking he's the one that will come and take the seat. But when I saw this is secretary now to PDP, I was thinking maybe there's a strategy behind it. But surprisingly, there is no strategy. So Izodima shows that he was a Supreme Court governor then, and that's what most people call him, Supreme Court governor. But he's now a full-fledged elected.
He has gained his right this time around.
Then for Bayelsa, you see,
the result is being collated.
It's being collected, and no party can still lay claim on it.
Yes, that's
though the race still leading to an extent.
But Silva has about 22,248 votes in Nebe.
But they're even arguing it that it should be more, far more than that. So there is Nebe and Brass. So these two areas is a big, and is the strength of Silva. In fact, according to the representative of APC, said they are short of another 30,000. Okay. They expect them to declare like 50 something. It's right time for them to rewrite the wrongs, and you can see that the IRF.
But don't you think it's a bit early to comment INEC, because from the feedback received yesterday, there were allegations that most of these votes were already flying around even before the election. The voting started, yesterday, and they were surprised. And even INEC during a press conference said they were going to address the issue, that they were not going to recognize it, and they even confirmed that yes, they have seen the result sheet. Right. But incidentally, these results sheet are the ones that were later how do you call it, transfer to the
Right.
IRED.
You know, election is a process.
Yes.
And it's have different phases. The first phase was the voting part of it. The second phase was the maybe sorting. Then before you go to collation. So now what remains that is that those that are alleging such malpractices, they should come out and present themselves.
But we don't know how difficult it is to prove that in court. Like for instance, the SDP candidate Adaka, from his interview I read yesterday, said that he was not going to go to the court because it would be a waste of, it's a futility, it's a be an exercise in futility.
Well, I want to respect his decision. I want to respect his decision, but on what basis will he even go to court? If you look at his axis, everywhere that he has a stronghold, he won those areas. Look at that. Because he wouldn't expect to come and win in Kogi Central, and he would not expect to go and win in the Kogi West. So for me, for his axis, because I look at the analysis and I follow it, he won all the Igala axis. So, and if you look at him, his strength is always in that area.
Houses, they are actually more in number.
They are not more in number, they are more in landmass. That's the correction you have to look at. That's what I'm saying. Now if you look at the election itself, you see that Okene brought about 130 something, Adavi brought about 101, Okehi 104, so if you look at that analysis itself, you discover that the highest from Igala land was 40 something. So if you look at that, you tabulate all together, it's that, and perhaps he does not really get percentages from all that local government, except that area. He didn't get any significant, he didn't even win any area in the Kogi West and Kogi Central. But even Ododo himself did not even won any in his own area. But Ododo was able to win in Kogi Central and Kogi West. So, and that's the so if you look at it, on what basis will he be going? Because if you look at some area that he won, you could see that he has like that something, and Ododo is having 5,000, and that's fair enough. Because you know why? You must also look at the strength of APC itself. APC have structure. They are the president. They are this. They are that. And perhaps he is an offshoot of even APC itself. So if you look at most of his own followers who are followers from what? From APC. But I want this government to do government of unity, and I love his decision not to go to.
But we don't know if his decision may change, because you can't take for him to have come out to the bank.
For him to have come out and say that, I think that's correct. I was even expecting PDP to be saying that they will go to court, but if you look at the distance, I'm not sure it's encouraging for them to go to court. And I could also see that I saw a video by China's TV that shows that he's very, very sick. See, he's taking inhaler and what have you. So it could be anxiety disorder. So that election for you. Election will come. Someone must emerge as a winner.
Okay. Thank you so much. That is that for politics. That's still trending since yesterday, when Nigeria had his off-cycle election in Imo, Kogi, and Bayelsa, and of course the winners for Imo and Kogi has already been declared, while Nigerians await the collation of results from Bayelsa, so that INEC, you can hear who won that election. Well, be that as it may, let's discuss business. Last week the news was trending that federal government has mandated universities to remit 40% of their revenue to the coffers. Now, this is right. Federal government is what Punch leads with one of his leading stories today. This is right. Federal government reject 40% varsities IGR deduction. So what is going to play out? Because these are universities that have always gone on strike year in year out, protesting inadequate funding and others. Now the federal government, under headed by Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is saying that they must refund 40% of their IGR. What is going to play out immediately? And as we speak, some universities are already hiking their tuition. Right.
Immediately this government introduced the student loan. Some of us think that something is going to happen. It follows it, and they didn't disappoint us.
Great gifts.
I'm telling you. So, and we are not disappointed. They have came out with what they actually. But for me, I think this government must take caution in terms of the way they want to generate revenue. Because if you want to generate revenue, there's supposed to be a standard that they would have meet up to. University that is complaining of funding, university that you say you want to give them autonomy, and you're now telling them to remit such amount, that simply means that their logistics will be tampered with, and they are not well funded in terms of, we have more university now, so I think they should tarry a bit and have a stakeholder meeting to really look at a point they can. Before 40% is quite huge, and it's going to tell on the students. The government, university will now start bringing sundry fee for students to pay, and it's becoming difficult already now to even pay school fees for people. Is difficult now, because even to survive the economy is pretty difficult, and perhaps people that are even helping people, maybe the younger one, they will look at their direct responsibility before they will help next. So we may see low turnout for university or tertiary education.
Because prior to then, this time around, I think school fees was barely. I went to a federal university,
right,
and school fees was just about less than 9.
I pay 7,000. I pay the highest was 17,000.
Yes,
so
I think, yes,
so,
6,000 or thereabout.
It's
School fees,
so
heavily subsidized.
I'm telling you, and it's encouraged us to go to that school then.
So at the end of the day, I just hope that ASU is not going to actually protest and close.
They will definitely protest, and someone like us, we also like to join them, because that means
so
everybody is not, you are talking to private university.
However, Elias, I'm also of the opinion, why don't you look at it that maybe somehow it will enable universities, most of our universities, to sit up and actually begin to think out of the box. Because
so think out of the box to tax students.
No, hear me out. That's outside in the other clients outside the shores of the country. Universities, they are teaching teaching hospitals. They are actually research centers that they can also generate all these things. Like we see in with Stanford University, that is Silicon Valley. You see what these companies do. So it's high time
the government of that country have interest in that university, and it is well funded.
It's high time our universities come up with research centers, not to just fold his hands and expect
we do paper and we do research and we pay for it. But I must tell you, for now, it's
what happens to their research?
It's not enough.
They start turning out and making that their research to work for the benefit of, especially the community where they are situated.
The government needs to do their part in terms of infrastructure and provide even that research fund. It's government that you provided that will go and tap from.
In terms of infrastructure, federal government is doing that through its interventionist agency.
No, I only know that when you are a lecturer, they give you 5 million.
Exactly, and funding research too.
They are doing it, but I think they still have to have a stakeholder meeting and look at the way forward. 40% is quite huge. They should up it gradually, give them a target. Next 3 years we do this, next 4 years we do this.
But however, this present government headed by Bola Ahmed Tinubu did say that yes, it has always been there. It's just that it was not, they've not enforced it over the years. And now that the government is broke, they are actually looking at. So
when government is broke, so they will go to every corner to tax. The one they are getting, we have not seen the result. They should just study a bit to allow people to school. Because if you are doing that, you are also encouraging illiteracy more in Nigeria. So you have to work more.
All right, thank you so much. Now, before we go, another headline story in some of these papers today, of course, is something that concerns us as a journalist. Annual confab, Amuka Oshoba Bagbin and leads 300 editors to Uyo, and you have the same story in all the papers because it concerns us. So, as they go to you for their delegation annual conference, do you think, is there a lapse in reportage? What is the rule? Do you see that editors living up to their responsibility?
It's a daunting task to be an editor, because you have to have a combination of a lot of things to make decisions to have a good outcome. However, if you look at our policy, we expect editors to also do more, because we need to bring people to accountability and all that. And where can we do it? It's just through these editors and reporters that can do that. So I think they should channel a better way, because I know that combination of editors in Nigeria can actually make this Nigeria to better more than this. Because if there is a focus on an issue and everybody is bringing its part, they bring it to policy and government will solely react. So for them having this program, it's a good one, and Obagbena to be leading it, I think is a very, very well experienced publisher among others. So I think it's a good one. So
but are you satisfied with their role so far?
Well, it depends on
the fourth estate
of the realm. Yes.
So you say that you're satisfied?
Honestly, we will say they bring knowledge to the fore. They bring a lot of information for us to know. But they only need more conducive environment to also also work, the betterment, their welfare and what have you. I think that's what they need, and government should institutionalize something that will also help them going forward. I think they are doing their part. It's not easy to be an editor. You must have grown to that level, and you must have been doing what you are doing from informed knowledge. So I think their welfare should be up as well as government, because if they are in politics as well, you know what they will be.
Yeah, but do you see them as partisan? Many people say that some, we are not supposed to be a partisan.
I think some are partisan. We can't take that away because a lot of discussion, a lot of information are coming. Depends on, like in Nigeria today, if an information is coming, say, where is it coming from? You want to look at which paper is carrying it and whatever. So sometimes I think some of them are partisan, but majority, maybe 60%, should continue to do their work as it's supposed to.
Thank you so much. Well, that is a takeaway from today's Inside Nigeria on Leadership Television. Of course, we've had as a guest, a modern guest, a political economist and a public affairs analyst, Dr. Aliu Elias. It's always a pleasure to have you on the program.
Thank you.
And I also look forward to having you sometime next week on the program. So viewers, this is where we end. We draw the curtain on today's Inside Nigeria, your breakfast show on television. My name is Winifred Ubebo. Until I come your way again, same time tomorrow, don't forget to keep an appointment. See you then. Bye.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080 3688